Welcome to episode 12 of Coffee with the Cassells with Stephen and Natalie Cassells. This episode is our season finale. Season 1 is done, it's wrapped up. We thought we would align it to the Hyrox season, and that's it, done forever. We are going to talk everything from our trip to Chicago to Worlds and our family holiday to Canada.
Yep.
So
It's good, the bad, and the ugly.
let's dive in because it was some trip, wasn't it?
From the get-go, aye. It was eventful. So yeah, anyone who's got children and travel with children knows how stressful alone it is to, I think as well it made it worse because our last trip was Barcelona, it was just you and I, and we had a rucksack each.
Yeah, but then even at that, like, we're just used to resort holidays where you just literally like get to the airport.
But not even that, it's not even going as far as their holiday, it's like going as far as like just getting to the airport is like a fucking mission, it's like an SAS mission.
Well, the debrief the 24 hours before we flew, I started to panic because of the car seats, prices of car seats to hire them, and we have to hire 3 car seats. So I was panicking about that. So I was trying to phone America to try and sort out the car. That's a touchy subject, that. But then we ended up travelling with 3 car seats as well as our suitcases.
Yeah, as well as your suitcases, 4 suitcases and a pram?
4 suitcases, a double pram, 3 car seats, 3 kids, 2 adults, 2
and
backpacks.
my head backpacks as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can imagine I was coming at the fucking car. Like I always refer it to, right, is like, see when I was younger, right, Rambo was one of my biggest inspirations, right, and Rambo used to walk about with like fucking 6 guns and that. There's me like Rambo with suitcases, with like wee fucking flip-flops on them and all that, and like a wee peachy bum looking tag thing. So like that with car seats and fucking luggage. Right, I'm Rambo, you know what I mean? With the fucking molly strapped around my head rather than actual, rather than bandana, I'll get molly strapped around my head. But I think it's just, it's hard as, like, as a parent, anybody out there would know that anybody's travelled with kids and stuff like that, you'll know that getting to the airport is a struggle with young kids because you're waking them up in the middle of the night. They're like waking up like half pissed, it looks like, you know what I mean? They always look like, oh, where am I going? And then getting there, then you have to like unload your motor, load it into a bus, unload the bus, take it to the airport. And I mean, we always seem to get it where we don't get the fucking toilets working. We just get that dodgy wheel, the luggage trolley.
We were there 3 hours before the flight, thinking it's international.
Yeah, so our flight, just to explain that, so our first flight was to London. So we were going from Glasgow to London, London to Chicago. So Natalie thought it was the same rules applied as international flights where you have to like arrive like 3 hours early, which amazes me because the fact that Natalie wants to arrive an hour earlier than which she has to, it's like a game changer. So we arrived way too early. Couldn't even like, we then had to hold all our stuff essentially because
yeah, and entertain the kids. We'd already started firing into the snacks. That's a danger zone as it is.
yeah, because you've got a limited supply. And yeah, so it was like, from that point, it just kind of set the tone for the day, wasn't it?
Well, no, because then and then we got to the desk.
And that's what I'm saying, it set the
you
tone
were
for the
standing
day.
there.
I was standing with the beans, I was trying to like thinking Molly and Harper. Molly the new is just a different breed. Man, she's like, I don't know where we've got her from, but she's a different kettle of fish.
Come for you.
That's what worried me, because you said that to me, and the more and more I think about it, I'm like, because like yesterday, both of us like pretty much had a square go yesterday when you weren't in the house. And I looked at her and I was like, you have got that wee bastard look in your eye that I've got. I don't know if I like it or not, I don't know if I'm proud of you or if I'm fucking really irritated by you, but, and even that, I spoke to my dad about her tantrums and that and the way she is. And I kind of said like, she's one of these kind of kids that, you know, hit first, ask questions later. My dad was like, well, that's what me and all. And I'm like, oh, well, we're all fucked it, innit? So I don't know if I feel about it. But aye, so I was kind of trying to entertain the kids, and it's obviously hard in an airport to entertain kids at that time in the morning, especially when they're like lack of sleep, etc. And Natty was over checking us in. Because you know, if you're a dad out there, you know, let's be honest, a dad knows fuck all about the holiday, right? We literally just turn up and try and like get by. We don't know when the flight is, we don't know where the flight's flying from, we don't know where the flight's going to. We don't know when the next flight is, we don't know where the boarding passes are, we don't know where the passports are. We just kind of turn up and just go, aye, fuck it, let's get on with it. Yeah. We're just there to carry the luggage.
That's the first thing we've ever said.
I know,
that to me.
it is just true. Like we just go to carry the luggage and help the bags overnight. Like that's so all the cannon fodder eventually just say there's like fucking stupid arse, he'll get the bags. Like fucking eyeball like that. Ooh.
To be fair, right, we had a lot less luggage than some of the couples there. Like, remember, I pointed out a couple in the airport and I was like, Stephen, they've got the same amount of bags as us.
That's because you've got the Paris Hiltons as well that want to pack their fucking dug in a massive suitcase. But anyway, so Natty was taking ages, right? It felt as if it was like 3 hours just waiting to actually.
But let me explain.
No, I'm explaining. So Natty's talking them that, fucking hell, how's this taking so long? How's this taking so long? And then he came over to me and went, you weren't authorised to fly. And right, I mean, I'm like, wait, what have I done?
Yeah. So I'm standing at the desk.
Yeah.
I hand over the passports. She swipes all the passports. She turns around to the guy beside and she goes, "That's saying not authorised for travel." That's exactly what she said. And I was like that. What the hell is going on? Like literally, my gut just went, "Oh no, what's happening?" And she went, can you come and have a look at this? And looking at it. And then she's like, "I'm going to call over the boss." So the boss comes over and he's like, "Phone the foreign office," or something like that.
Was it with the immigration office or something?
Immigration office for the States.
Getting fucking deported back here to my house. Deported back to Galacross. How'd you get in a taxi? Cuffed in a taxi. Deported back to a gosh.
So she phones up, she's speaking to somebody, she goes through all the passport numbers, all the names, blah, 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 right, okay, and then she's like, aye, everyone's got ESTAs, aye, fine, right, and then I was like that, oh no, I was like, I don't remember the last time I flew to the States, and this is, I'm such a tit because the last time I flew to the States, I was flying with like a big group of people, which was all sorted by one person. So I was like, I don't remember them asking for the ESTAs when we were checking in. Like, I just thought when you get to the States, they check the ESTAs, right? And my plan was to get through security, go and sit, and then get the ESTAs up on my phone and screenshot them all, because you know what it's like, if you screenshot something, ages in your camera roll, try and find it, etc. So I was like, right, okay. So that was the last thing I had to do. That and message my online clients. So I said, I'll do that when I get through the gate. Then she was like, it's definitely all gone through. So I'm sitting trying to find the application in front of her, found the application, gave her all the numbers and all that. She's like, right, okay, everyone's got ESTAs, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, but you'll have to get your boarding passes when you get to London and the connections bit. So just go up to the American Airlines desk and then just go and get your boarding passes there. Fine, great. Get through. Because that took so long, straight through security, straight to the gate.
No, yeah, we didn't have time. We always have this thing, we're going to go for breakfast and stuff like that. We didn't have time to do that. Then we grabbed like literally a sandwich for
Sandwiches,
the rains and a sandwich for us, and we read. And it was like time to board as soon as we got there.
Aye, so that was that, fine.
So it was what, a 2 hour flight?
Fine.
Which was alright, to be fair. Like, the kids were alright. Molly was a wee bit.
What was the decision we made with the pram?
Aye, so the decision we made with the pram, right? So they said to us, like, do you want to take the pram to the gate and then you can fold it down there and then put it, like we normally do, like give it to them, the staff or whatever, and then they put it in the hold and stuff like that. And we've done that a few times and stuff like that. And it is a pain in the arse when you're waiting to get to the gate, you need to fold it all away and put it down. So
especially security, because they ask you to take it.
Aye, exactly. For security, it's a bit of a pain in the arse now. So they said, do you want to keep it or do you want to put it away now? And I went like, oh, fuck it, just put it away the room in. Like, we'll just hold the weight.
And we'll
like
just
that.
put it all the way through
And
to the States.
we'll just take it all the way through, rather than like getting it again in London, because it was like, I think there was only like, what,
There was only
90 minutes to 2 hours
hour
difference or something, between the connections and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, well, for the fucking sake of that, man, just, like, the Waynes will probably sleep in the flight. That was my intention. The Waynes will sleep in the flight. Then we'll get up, we'll all walk as a family. We'll only really need to hold Callan. We'll all walk as a family through London Airport to get into connections. And then, jobs again. We're back on the flight. Kids will sleep again. Happy days. No. So, the kids didn't sleep in the flight at all until the captain said, that's us going down. And we had 15 minutes till landing.
And Molly falls
Then
asleep.
they fell asleep.
Aye,
Yeah.
and Callan. The minute the
Callan.
plane starts to descend, Molly falls
And then-
descends as well.
See, when they sleep,
Oh,
right? Unless it's like pure quiet, right, through the night, when you want them to sleep, that's when they wake up. But when you don't want them to sleep, no, like they're like a dead weight. So there's us, like, trying to cut our way through. I've got Molly, my arms are breaking, Natty's got Callan. Because of
fast
that, the two of them are fast asleep. Because of that, Harper's then went up, because she's like, well, they two are up, so I don't want to walk, my legs are tired, I'm tired. But anyway, so we managed to get through to London, finally find where we need to go. I think I had to go to the, I had to pee with Molly, holding Molly. It was mental, right, because she was just crashed out. And then, like, every member of staff through the airport done the annoying thing reminding us, oh, why did you not bring a pram? Like that, yeah, funny. So we finally got up to get the boarding passes.
American Airlines.
American
There we
Airlines.
are. Hand over the passports.
Yeah.
And she swipes them and she goes,
You're not authorised.
you're not authorised. Why?
Same problem.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Straight away, my mind is racing, like, because I'm like, right, what have I done, like, years ago?
What's on your criminal record?
Because I'm thinking America is proper strict, but if you sneeze in the wrong place and you get charged, you can't go to America. So I'm thinking to myself, fuck, right. Even thinking back to when I was like 16, I'm like, what did I do?
When you got your name taken for jumping the fence.
When I got done for breach of the peace, like, I'm like, wait a minute, like, am I going to get booted out of America and sent home because I'm breaching the peace? I'm like, is this for real? So I'm thinking about all these daft things, like when I was younger, like, oh, when did that happen?
Oh no, oh no. Then she holds up your passport and she goes, has this passport changed recently?
And I said no.
And my whole insides just went,
Oh, because a month before, well, it was a couple of weeks before Barca. Aye, so it was like 2 months before. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably remember that Molly, our darling little daughter, decided to draw all over my passport. So
with a ballpoint pen.
With a ballpoint pen, all over the face of it for that matter. If she'd done it in the paper bit, it would have been all right apparently. But no, Molly decides to get the page that needs the most and drew all over my face. So that was the reason, because the ESTA was on the previous passport.
Yeah, because I was so organised. When you qualified, I thought and you bought the ticket, I thought even if we don't go, we'll need ESTAs at some point anyway. So I'm just going to do all the ESTAs and then it's done. So I did all the ESTAs at the start of the year. Great, authorised, sorted, happy days, one box ticked. Yes, go me. Not authorised.
So they were kind of over-prepared with that one.
Okay. And then she goes, just sit over there, it's fine.
No,
It don't
no.
take that long to authorise it.
Before that, she did phone, because then Natalie did say, well, we had the same problem in Glasgow and the lassie said she'd sorted it. So she said she phones apparently the same place and goes, no, they're saying no, you can't get in, essentially, you can't fly, you can't get into America. And Natalie's like, no, but the lassie said, and I kind of went, well, I don't know what they're doing in Glasgow because they've not done their job, because you're not allowed to fly and that's it. But she said, what you could do though, is you could just sit over there, and it was like this wee, I felt as if it was like a holding pen, right? These like 3 seats with a guy that was sitting next to us, and they basically said, right, go over there and apply for an ESTA. It doesn't take that long to authorise. So Natalie was like, yeah, that's right, actually, it doesn't actually take that long. Walks over, my internet connection at first went it. That was the problem I had.
Fine.
So yeah, eventually got on, and then go onto the website and we're like, why is that not working? Why is that not working? Had to try the app. Why
I
is it
went
not
up to the
working?
woman. I was like, is the ESTA site working for you? She goes on her phone. No, must be down.
Down for maintenance.
I was like, what? Must be down. I'm like, can I not phone something? No, they don't apply for them over the phone. I was like, who did you just phone? I'm like, can I not speak to them? No, that is just downstairs.
Typical timing, because Natalie had said she actually went on it that morning at Glasgow. You said you went on it?
I was on it before we,
On the
obviously
website.
before we flew.
And then just at the time that we landed, we needed it most, it's been under maintenance.
And our flight was in an hour.
Our flight
It was
in-
delayed a little bit, so I was like, okay, we've got
We've got a chance.
It's delayed,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like trying to sort it. Still not working. Phone my mum. Mum, can you check this website? She's checking the website. So now everybody's checking the website. Refresh, nothing. And I'm like sitting and I'm like,
Bearing in mind we still got 3 kids running about that haven't slept properly.
one's half asleep.
One's half asleep and
One's finding things on the floor underneath the seat. and eating it.
nobody's had breakfast. Like, and there's where we were, there was because it's a connection flight, there was nowhere for us to go to get food. Like nowhere.
Because it's the connect. It's literally just what is it?
Yeah, you walk on,
Hallways.
walk off.
Just hallways.
Like
aye.
we had net, the kids had net and all that, so we're all absolutely starving. Harper's like overtired, wanting to go and stuff like that. She's getting sick yet. We were in there for a couple of hours. His toes just wriggled. I don't know. So we're in there for a good couple of hours, and we were next to one of the most annoying women. Her voice, like to this day, still fucking like leading me to ring.
your passport.
Oh,
it wasn't even that.
She's shouting that you don't need your passport.
South African.
I don't even know what
She was South African.
in the arse. She had pure squeaky voice, like, but to the point where guys will know this, like a pure squeaky voice that when you hear it, your balls go up to your chest, right, the thingy. So she was saying that you don't need your passport, you just need your boarding pass at this bit. Please have your boarding pass ready. The next thing she would say was, you're allowed to have water with you as long as it's in a plastic bottle and not a steel bottle, for whatever reason, right? But she said that on repeat, like every 5 minutes. And we were sitting there for like 2 hours just listening to this woman. So eventually we managed to get the application done and the ESTA eventually came through. We had missed that first flight. So luckily enough we managed to get on the second flight. So walking through, I didn't even know she knew we were being cheeky, but as we're walking through, I asked the woman, so no water then, no? Just the boarding pass you
I
see?
actually said, I was like, so no passport, is it?
Yeah, no passports at this bit, just your boarding pass, is that right? But I don't even think she realised that you were trying to be cheeky. It was just their sense of humour. I think she's probably just trying to be a helpful woman. But yeah, so that was us. Eventually got the ESTA sorted, eventually got in the flight, and obviously it was an 8-hour flight. So again, kids hardly slept. When they did sleep, we only had like the time off the plane and us getting through the airport. They then came fully to, as in terms of fully awake, when we got on the next flight to Chicago, which wasn't ideal. It was an 8-hour flight to Chicago. And yeah, it was just like, even though there was like, obviously it's a long haul flight, so there's obviously you've got the movies and that on the flights and stuff like that, so we thought, right, we'll keep it entertained. Nat had done the usual and packed like a bag full of toys, and but it didn't help. It didn't help. They wanted this movie on, they didn't want this movie on, and it was Molly more than anything. Molly kept doing this annoying thing, kicking the front the chair in front of her, and then when you told her not to, it made it worse. Because then she just booted fuck at it. Like, it started after we tapped and you say, Molly, don't do that, there's somebody sitting there. And it started a wee bit harder. Molly, please don't do that. Then it'd be a scream and it'd be a fucking whack.
It was like,
but if you're sitting there, you'd probably get whiplash.
she was, it was then we like screaming though, the tantrums after telling her. Like, no, it was just like high pitched screaming.
Or rough. But yeah, so after all that, we eventually get there.
We get them sleeping on the flight.
We get them sleeping in the flight.
Get there.
And then we get to Chicago. And then, yeah, it was a case.
Chicago was amazing.
Chicago was probably, I must admit, like, I wish they had more time in Chicago, because we were only there for 4 days, 3-4 days, and obviously 2 of the days were kind of made up of Hyrox. Like,
Every day we were at Hyrox.
I know, but the 2 of the days mainly were like checking in, experiencing what was running about and stuff like that. Then obviously the Hyrox my race, and then it was like, but it was cool as well because it was like you were walking into the pier, and walking into the pier, maybe with like the pier lasted like, it would probably be like a 10-minute walk, but we see because of the amount of people you knew there, it was like an hour walk. It was almost like Hyrox Glasgow, where you knew so many people and you were talking to them and like having a blather and stuff like that. So like a 10-minute walk became an hour walk into the pier because you knew that many people. So, but yeah, I mean, it was incredible. Like Chicago, the actual city itself was amazing. Like just the hustle and bustle of it type thing. The sights, the massive buildings. Like I've never been to the States like for a long time, probably since I was 5. So just seeing like the height of the buildings and taking it all in, the landscape and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, just the hustle and bustle of it. And then the actual Hyrox like venue itself was a game changer. Like that's probably the best venue we've been in. It was built for a World Championships. The building itself was absolutely incredible. The bit that the main bit you went into, the main door, and then the actual bit for racing. I mean, it's probably the best course I would say I've ever done. What I loved about it was the straights were like long, so it's like you could proper pick up speed on the runs, and then obviously there was just like a couple of turns, and then you would go again before the next sprint type thing. So the run course itself was just like, for me, it's the best course I've ever done. Bar the sleds obviously, which we'll get to, but even that, the kind of the whole walking nations and stuff like that, like that wasn't what I was expecting, to be fair. I don't know what I was expecting that, but you're just kind of walking into shitey music. It was nice. It was nice to experience it.
It was nice to see all the different countries and the amount of athletes, and for everyone to get like a moment in time. I just think production-wise, it could have been a bit better.
It was nuts. It was nice to speak to like all the team for Scotland and catch up with them, and even like meet some people for the Scottish team that you didn't know.
Yeah, that was good.
Obviously, that was really nice. Like the networking side of it was really good.
I mean, 5 countries before Scotland, Harper turned around to me and went, "Mommy, I need a pee."
Aye. So that's definitely the hardest part, because I was just walking around the venue and Natty had the 3 kids to wrestle with. So
I mean, the walking nations was about 2 hours as well from the start to finish. So when you lined up, so it was like busy. Like for when you lined up to then had to navigate.
Aye, because it goes in alphabetical order, so you can imagine obviously Scotland's like way down in the list.
Aye.
But I don't know what I was expecting with it. It was good, and it was nice to like walk around and then see Harper's face and that, and Molly's face all excited when they see me walking in. But I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. I thought the music they were picking for countries and that was just like, what the fuck? Like I don't know even what we had, man. But no, it was nice to chat to a lot of people in the networking side of things and stuff like that. So that was, when was that? That was a Thursday or something?
That was a Thursday. So like the Tuesday when we arrived, we took a walk down to see the venue. You thought you should check in. You couldn't check in that day.
No.
Saw everything. And it was amazing because they had like the big Hyrox banner on the side of the Navy Pier and all that was absolutely beautiful. And then they had like different Hyrox pylons all the way down the Navy Pier, and obviously bumping in and seeing people was amazing. The weather was stunning that day as well. It was really nice. And like you said, just networking and catching up with like Graham and Hannah and like just loads of different people just as we walked down the Navy Pier. It was amazing. I think then the next day was the day that you registered, was that right? So we went back later.
Yeah, and again it was like just chatting to everybody and getting a feel for it. It was like that was probably the biggest buzz. I actually preferred that. Walking down the actual Navy Pier to the venue was probably for me better than the walking nations, because it was like you were getting a feel for everything. Everybody was like kind of still in that kind of wee holiday mode. Like it wasn't really like tunnel vision of the race. Like obviously everybody had the race to go, but everybody was like kind of relaxed and enjoying it and like kind of soaking it all in. And
I think the thing for me was that what I noticed very quickly was that usually at a Hyrox event there's loads of people with kids, and then obviously because this was halfway across the world, nobody had travelled without kids apart
everybody was more sensible.
Apart from us. But what like an experience for them, like everyone that met them just gave them so much love. And then when like you were doing the walking nations, they were dancing, they had the flags, they were drawing, they were doing everything. And then which
is actually, on that note, actually, like you saying that, like it's actually a shame that there wasn't more kids there, to be honest with you, because I think that's probably the first Hyrox that we've been to that I think there was more interaction for the kids. Like, see, like the drawing in the posters and stuff like that, and like the big foam fingers and stuff like that. Like, and then there was like wee games for them, like the bean bags and stuff like that. I feel like they pulled out all the stops to make it a wee bit more kid friendly. Whereas other venues, you normally just go in and it's just like get the job done, go, and there's nothing really there for the kids. Whereas I feel like that was the first one that I've been to that I was like, it's class having the kids there because they've actually got something to do. Like they feel more of a part of it rather than it just being I'm just getting dragged along here. It was like, right, we'll interact with them and get them doing things and stuff like that. So that was nice.
So there's that, and then the Walking Nations was amazing for the kids. I just feel that Hyrox production levels usually are pretty top notch, and I feel like that was chucked together. Like there could have been like images on the screens or multiple screens with like interviews from different countries and like, you know, real stories of real people in Hyrox who have qualified. Like that would have been amazing to see that full production come together, and then almost like having like, you know, different, I don't know, lighting structures or whatever to really bring it to life. But I don't know, it was just a walk with a few songs and around the arena, and then we sit down.
Maybe it was different, to be fair. Maybe it would be different if it was in a smaller arena, because I found as well that, see, because like the arena, the venue was like a bigger venue in terms of racing and stuff like that. Like you actually seen the grid, and the grid was huge, like the whole thing. But I found that very, very strange because we were coming in this door, but then we had like ages until you guys were all in the stands. So it was like you were walking
stands
up.
were just really long, that was the thing. So by the time you'd walked halfway up, the music had changed to the next.
Yeah, it was
See, how does
strange, like,
full walk? I know they were trying to probably condense it and so that the timing was a bit quicker, but I don't know. There's something to be done there.
it was still special. It was still nice to experience and stuff like that.
But then,
and obviously have the
that
kids there as well.
That night was Elite 15 race for the females and the males.
And we weren't really,
stayed the whole
yeah, we weren't. I'll be honest with you, like I wasn't that bored. Like, not that I wasn't bored. I was going to catch up with it later, but I wasn't that bored about seeing it in person because I just thought the kids are here. They're probably tired. We've had a long day because we're obviously, like, when we do Hyroxes and stuff like that, we're not these people that do Hyroxes and just sit in the hotel room and wait for a Hyrox to happen. We want to explore. We want to see everything. We want to experience different things. We've been to like the shows with Harper and stuff like that. So, we always want to kind of just soak everything in and experience different things and see different sites, like taking the reins to like the butterfly sanctuary and stuff like that. So I mean, the kids were like obviously engaged the full day, so I was kind of like, they'll probably be shattered, we'll just call it a day and we'll just leave it. But then Natalie was like, no, we'll just stay, we'll just watch it. And then we watched the female one, and then Callan and Molly, they fell asleep.
Molly fell and walked with me the whole day through like the race. Like we were standing at the running track, we were then down at the pool in the push. We wanted to see the sleds. And then I literally watched the sleds at the female. I was right there at the front with the girls, and I was like,
yeah, the girls were up for the female one, and then Molly fell asleep for the male one. So it was just Harper, and Harper was just wild at that point.
she was done.
She was absolutely wild, but she was still trying to like fight it and like, showcase interest, so that she didn't need to go to bed or anything like that. So, but no, that was good. It was good, like experiencing it, seeing the new champions and stuff like that. Seen a couple of shocks as well. Like, I don't think anybody expected obviously Linda Meyer to come away with it and stuff like that. So. It was nice to experience that, and then obviously the chase between Tim and Hunter, like Hunter going unbroken with the wall balls, and everybody going like that, like every time Tim dropped it, and it was like a pure massive like, oh my god, like what's happening type thing. So it was nice. Like, I'm glad we did stay. But after it, I mean, the walk home and stuff like that, I was absolutely shattered at that point, and I was like, I listened to her, like what the hell, do you know what I mean?
It was good. So then we went back, and this is the first time you've ever done this, that I left you in the morning to chill.
Yeah.
And I took the kids to the zoo.
We went out for breakfast together, and then Natalie said, because obviously I was having a lot of issues with my calf because we were obviously walking about, we were on our feet quite a lot, so I was just like, I don't want to risk it on the day and have too much pressure on it. So I was like, I might just chill out. So we went out for breakfast together, and then for the first time ever on a holiday or ever at a Hyrox and stuff like that, I was kind of left on my own, which was really, really weird. Like, I didn't really know what to do.
I know.
It was one of the ones, chill out, and I was like, and then the cleaners came in, and they were like, can we use the room? And I was like, oh fuck. So I had to go a walk anyway, and I was like, I could do.
No, you couldn't have done, because I said to you, I was like, I'm going to be walking with purpose.
Yeah.
And so I could go away and come back, and I was like, and I know that you're totally up for coming to see the zoo, but at the same time, I was like, I can't be arsed in your morning without being on your legs all day. So I was like, go home, chill out, I'll take the kids. So there I was, 3 kids on 1 pram,
Not with it.
absolutely full
But they
pelt.
loved it because you actually thought it was an hour walk and it actually, you got the wrong zoo. So,
Well, it wasn't the wrong zoo, it was just, it was taking me the wrong,
the wrong way.
it was taking me, I think, all the way to the other side. So, aye, that was fun. And the kids loved that. They were like...
I think a good thing for me as well is that, like, the race over there was 3 o'clock that time, so it didn't feel as bad either. Like, I think it'd even worse if you went out and my race was at 8 o'clock at 9 o'clock at night, like it normally is. I think that'd probably keep me, because I would be like, no, that's too long.
No,
I'll
but
see
this
it
is what I'm
at 3
saying
o'clock.
to you, like, you had a great race and you needed to be off your feet, or even just that small walk, fine, but you just needed to chill.
Yeah.
I think it's important, we need to do that more often, but
Yeah.
like I enjoyed that as well, just taking the kids out, and then, I mean, and then your race. And I was like, okay, I've got the kids, they're all in the pram, I've got hundreds of snacks, we'll be fine. So I decided to live stream it. My phone was already on 5%.
I didn't know you'd live stream it, to be fair. I didn't know that until after.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm halfway across the world and I can see the chat going mental because everyone's ready to kind of follow along. And I was like, do you know what? How nice would it be for your family? I knew your sister was with your mum and dad. And then, like, for some of the members who wanted to really engage, or your friends wanted to follow along. So I was like, oh, fuck it. So there I was. My phone was on 5% battery. So I was like, I need to connect your phone to my phone because we were using all of my data. We decided to use one phone for all the data, so that was fine. Connected it to my phone, fine. On the live, here we go. Right, guys, bear with me. Here's the kids. Let's go. And what unravelled, it was absolute carnage.
The Mr. Bean filter. So Nata didn't realise, but she's doing a live. But she's got the Instagram Mr. Bean filter on. So like, you just see this random new face at times.
Everyone was running. Everyone's like, I'm pissing myself at the filter. And I'm like, Dean, are you winding me up? And he's like, no, I'm not winding you up. There's actually a filter. Like on the screen, there's like a floating head.
I think there was somebody had said there was a floating head, but then Laura Donnelly, one of the clients, she was in the other day and she says, I didn't notice it the first time. She says, I just thought it was like a bit of the light or whatever. Yeah, I only noticed it when Natty went like that and turned to Molly for a minute and it just went on Molly's face. So, yeah, Mr. Bean felt on the live, so.
So I'm like that. Then I'm not concentrating on the race because I'm like, how do I turn this filter off? I'm like, everybody, somebody Google this and tell me how I change this filter. Because you'd been playing with the filters for a while, so that's why it was on. So anyway, so you could see the floating head in the screen. And then I'm like, guys, I don't know what lap he's on. I think he might be away into the next bit. No, anyway, so we managed to keep up with you, watched you on the sleds, holy shit. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, they look bad. And then I thought, right, I'm going to go to the track before the wall balls. And then I saw like this like back path all the way up the back of the track, right? And where we were sitting the night before, we were sitting up on the
it was the stands at the
on the stands at the wobbles, and I thought, oh, I wonder if there's a way to like go right round the corner there because the crossing was right there. So I'm like, right guys, I'm just gonna run up here and then I'm gonna nick across the wobbles because he'll be going into the wobbles next. I get to the end and I'm
try
like,
to fast track it.
Oh, you can't get by. I'm like, oh no, spin the pram round. Harper's on the back, like kids are in, off we go, like a full pelt, the whole back straight, all the way down. I've got the camera, I've got the pram running, excuse me, move. Then the live cuts off. Why? Because my phone died. So I'm feeling that. Oh my God, I'm like that, right, I'll get the data on your phone, so I'll put the data on your phone, then it's like, your roaming pass is active, here's another £2, right, £2. And then I'm running up the side and I'm like, excuse me, and then I can see all the comments and it's like, tell them to move the fucking way, just random.
Yeah, because I think the worst thing is like, I went into the first wall ball, the first target, so it wasn't even as if like, obviously you've got the line of wall balls. It wasn't as if I was like the one closest to Natty. No. I was the one furthest away. The very first.
Something like that.
Next to the ramp.
And then it's so rammed because everybody's waiting when the partners, the family coming in. And I'm like that, move. I'm like, guys, I'm going to ditch the kids. Also, just before all that happened, Harper goes, I need a pee. Oh yeah. No, you don't. Hold it in. I mean, and then Ashley suggested, just put her in a nappy. Have you got a nappy for the kids? I said, Ted, do you want a nappy? No, I don't want a nappy. I'm like, that well, pee in your pants. Honestly, I was like.
Well, Ham's at the same time.
So we did the full zoo that morning. Then we did your full race. And then I was like that. I'm done. But you smashed it. You smashed it. You looked like you enjoyed it. Like,
it's the first one I've enjoyed. It's the first ever Hyrox race I've actually enjoyed.
It just went so like well, considering the track, considering everything. Like I do think it went really, really well, and like
that's how I've
what a way to finish the season.
I've no qualms about it. I know a lot of people are like shouting and like rightly or wrongly, or kind of complaining about the sleds or the issue they had the sleds, like different lanes being different colours and stuff like that. But I walked away from it like, do you know what it is? What it is? Like, I was actually quite happy I was in the harder lanes because I was in, from a side push, I came into lane 1, which when I first ran into it, I was like, oh fuck, because Chris McSherry said to me, he was racing just 10 minutes before me, he was in the way before me at 10 minutes, so we were in the warm-up area together, so we're kind of talking and stuff, and he was like, listen, Sean and Bradley have told me the sleds aren't moving that great, especially the first like 4 lanes don't seem to be moving that well. So he says, my game plan is I'm going to go out hot at the start, I'm then going to smash the ski, and then I'm going to rein my second one in, like running, so that I don't come in one of the lanes. I suggest you do the same, right? So I thought after the ski, I reined that run in, right? But I obviously didn't want to take the piss either because it's a race at the end of the day. So I'm like kind of timing it and that, going like, right, okay, we're doing all right. Started to run in, and the way it worked is you ran into an arch, ran into the sled push one, and then you had a big strip that you had to run down before a judge told you where to go. You had to almost turn the corner. When I turned the corner, I looked around and I was like, fuck, there's no other person in the sled push. And there was nobody behind me at the time. And I was like, I'm in lane 1. And the guy went, lane 1, mate. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I pushed it up. Like, to be fair, when I pushed it up the first time, I done my usual, like 12 steps, rest, 12 steps. When I pushed it the first 12 steps and up the way, I felt all right. I was like, right, okay, it's a wee bit harder, but I'm moving it. And then I turned in to push it back. And I was like, somebody's fucking put the handbrake on this sled. Like, I remember just looking about going, what the fuck has just happened here? And
you even stopped within a metre of the box.
I couldn't. I literally, my legs just like, and I knew that. So I got so far up, and I've always got this tactic. I do so many steps before I stop, before the lactic acid that kind of tips me over. And I got to this point, and I only had like a metre left to push it into the box, and I was just like, if I push that anymore, I'm done. My race is over. And I just like stood and I was like, I'm making myself 5 seconds before I go again. There's no chance. Like, I'll just crumble.
I want to listen back to what I was saying at that point on the feed, because I'm pretty sure I was like,
honestly, like, so I and the slide push, I get lane 1, the slide pull, I get lane 3 or 4, I think it was. So I was in the lanes that eventually got like scrapped, they didn't use them anymore because of no fit for purpose apparently. But I walked away, and I know like some people are obviously a wee bit pissed off about it and that, but I kind of walked away like, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Like, I'm good at get challenged because I came away with a 104, and yes, my goal's always been like the sub-hour, but I came away with a 104, was really, really happy with my performance. My performance was to try and get the runs a lot quicker than what they had been the full season, which they did. And then it was almost like, the stations were a wee bit mediocre and pish for me, to be fair, and that's something I need to work on, but at the same time, I was like, I'm happy with that because I've been, like, the sleds wiped me out energy-wise, but I managed to sustain it and push through and still come out with 104, like, which, and then me look said to me, like, you know, you go somewhere else and on your day, that could be like a sub-hour anyway. So I was quite happy that, you know, coming away with a 104 when everybody's felt so challenged with these sleds where it's like knocked them for 6, and I'm coming away with that, I'm like, you know what, like, that was quite, it's a confidence booster. Yeah. And yes, it may have affected my time, you know, it may have been harder than other sleds because you looked about, and I noticed it in my heat as well. I looked about and I was like, that guy's sled's moving a wee bit quicker than mine, like, is that a man just not strong enough? And obviously at that time, there wasn't anything out about this, like the sled.
No,
the carpets being, the turf being different, or like some lanes being harder than others and that. There was nothing. So I just assumed, like, took it on a whim, like, fuck, I'm not strong enough anymore. Like, I need to get right with my strength. And but it was funny, like, seeing, that sounds terrible, like, seeing funny, but like the amount of people just slipping and hitting their chin and like falling early for it. I nearly did. It was a few times, I suppose sled pull, I nearly fell on my arse about 5 times. So my trainers were just all other campers just going away from me. Even the sled push, when I ran in, it was honestly like somebody had just poured a bucket of water out of this sled. It was fucking vile, the amount of sweat on it. I can see why, but my God, man, it was vile. So no, I absolutely loved it. Like, I loved everything about it. It's probably the one that I've enjoyed the most. Like, I was trying to like soak it in and enjoy it as much as possible, even though it was fucking painful. I was hurting, but every time I ran in, I seen like Natalie and the kids, I was like kind of smiling, trying to do things like that for the kids and stuff like that, like do wee gestures to them and stuff like that to show the support. It was also nice as well that you're over the other side of the world type thing, and like normally when we go to Hyroxes and stuff like that, we've got all the clients with us, we've got maybe family with us and that, you've always got that like kind of support system. Earlier there it was just you guys, but what was nice is I would run round and it'd be like wee Bradley or Craig Murphy, like out of nowhere going, come on big man, let's go, and you'd be like, oh my God, a familiar voice, like, and it would kick you on a wee bit. Because there's a couple of times, like people know that have done Hyrox, like the runs in particular, and this is for anybody that goes to support a family member or someone or pal or whatever doing Hyrox, try and catch them in the runs rather than the stations. Because see the stations, you can kind of just tune out and it's the fancy stuff that you can enjoy or break up and stuff like that. Seeing the runs are the most lonely place, because it's like you've got all these people shouting ball at you in the stations going, oh, come on, come on. And you feel amazing, you feel as if you could take on the world. Then you go on the run and it's fucking silent. And you start thinking, my back's sore, what am I going to have for my dinner? You can't do this, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, that's probably the way you need to support the most. And on the runs, because obviously you're trying to do live and get to the next stations, Murphy was like spot on for that, because every time I turned the corner, he was there. And I was like, fucking, that'd be brilliant, like, because it massively helped us. But no, like, if Chicago wasn't so far away, I would do that one every single year, that venue, because it was epic, it was amazing.
It was nice, a beautiful city, a nice place.
And then it was funny, right, because I said to Natty, obviously the whole drama with Hyrox and right, try to get a ticket, try to fucking pay for the ticket. Like, all the drama that's going on, right, obviously, you know the feelings with Hyrox now. We're having a wee bit of a, we're not sharing the same bed right now. And so, we've obviously got all that, and I was thinking, I even said this to Natty on the flight over, I was like, this could be the last one. Apart from Dublin, I've obviously got locked in with Dortmund.
It's my last one at the moment.
And I was like, this could be my last Hyrox, so everyone's selling out too fast, you can't get a ticket, blah, blah, blah.
And then we're talking to people, South Africans, we're like, we're going to come and
Aye,
can we? And he's like, no, they're selling it too.
Our tactic was like, we'll go to the other side of Navia where nobody wants to travel to. And it was like, South Africa, fucking jackpot, we love South Africa anyway, we'll go there. And we're speaking to two South Africans, like, no, they're sold out within 20 minutes as well. And you're like, great. And there's only 2 events there. But flying over and stuff like that, I thought, nah, that's it, it's done and all that. And then we're sitting, and they announced the next World Championships, Stockholm, and I'm like, Jordan, we need to qualify. I was like, we need to get this done. So much easier to get to. But no, it was an experience, wasn't it?
Aye, it was good to be a
part. And I mean, we done the race, and it was, some people stayed to do maybe a double race and stuff like that, like over the course of the weekend. And what I liked about it was like, when my race was done, we were done. It was like holiday time type thing, so it was time to enjoy. And we then had the fiasco of picking up the car, which was another fucking traumatising experience, where we went, and because we didn't have a credit card, we only had a debit card, we weren't getting the car, and we didn't really know what to do after that. It was like, then
I sat down on the bench beside you when I got back, and I plead with the guy on the desk, and he was like, that's the policy.
The guy in the vest, for that matter, right? See if you ever watched The Campaign with Will Ferrell in it, the guy was the guy with the moustache. I have never seen someone so American in my life. Like, he just reminded me of a guy, like that guy for Campaign. Watch it, because he was that. And I remember looking at him as Natty's having all these issues, and he's not really doing anything to help her. And I'm like, he is a smug wee prick. I really don't like him.
No, he was like, that's the policy, can't do anything. And I was like, I've got my credit card on my phone. And he's like, no,
just a wee job left, man. He's really annoying me.
And I'm like, so what are my other options? I've got 3 young kids under 4. I'm like, I can't just like go and get a bus. Like, I probably could, but I'm like, okay. And
it's a hassle, all the stuff that we had and all that.
He said, why don't you speak to the other people with the cars? So I'm like, right, I pre-booked this because I know I'm asking for a one-way car to Toronto. It's not just like another American city, it's Canada. And I'm wanting it for a week, and nobody does one way. Like, literally, it was a nightmare to book it online. So I was like, oh my God. So I'm going to every desk, and I'm like,
everything with this.
Oh my God. And then the woman at the very end, I think her name was Sabrina, and she was like, listen, we'll work together and we'll get something sorted. We will get you out of here today with a car somehow, right? So I was like, amazing. So she booked me a car that would then be Chicago Midway Airport and then collected at Chicago and then dropped off where we picked it up. So I was like, right, so we're going to have to drive all the way to Niagara Falls the day before, and then we're going to have to drive it back. And then I was like, right, okay, I'm going to have to now phone British Airways to see if I can change our flight. So I'm on the phone to British Airways trying to change our flight.
Natalie's down at one side of the building, I'm up at the other with the 3 kids.
And then I've just paid £1,000 for a car or she's just held £1,000 on my credit card, because she had, the whole problem was nobody had tap.
Yeah.
She was the only desk who had a tap machine. Everyone else needed the physical card. That was the issue.
Yeah.
So she was like, I can take it per tap. So I was like, fine, great. So did that, sorted that out. So she's got this on hold, fine. I'm on the phone to British Airways, and then the original guy, 2 hours later, goes up to Stephen and went, listen,
even if she's got $1 on her credit card or whatever, I can try and work it. And I'm like, mate, she's on the phone now changing our flight. Like, that was like 2 hours ago. Her first conversation with you was about 2 hours ago. You've let us sit here with 3 wains for all that time to then go.
But I think that was what he needed to feel sorry for us.
Either that or he just wanted us out because more happily doing he's nothing.
He then comes up, I then go down to the desk, he goes, right, come on. And I went, the problem is I don't have my physical credit card. I've got $1 on my credit card. I've got more than $1 on my credit card. But I was like, I don't have the physical card. And then he's like that, oh. And I'm like, I've got the debit card. And then he went, oh, did you fly in today? And he looked at me like this. And I went, yeah. And he went, and is your flight from Toronto? And I went, yeah, I can prove that. He was like, right, let me see what we can do. And then he's like, oh no. He was like, it's just told me you flew in 3 days ago. So I was like, okay. And then he said, and then the woman beside went, tell her to book a business flight.
At this point, they weren't making eye contact because there was cameras. They were like talking straight on to each other.
Book a business flight? And I went, what? And he went, go and find the cheapest business flight into Chicago Midway Airport today and book it. Because then if you book it, you'll have a flight number, you'll have a boarding pass technically. And then I'll be able to give you the car on your debit card because you flew into Midway today and your outgoing flight is from Toronto. And I'm like, I'm fucking jumping through hoops. That's all I'm doing. I mean, and I said to them, I was like, what's the difference between a debit card and a credit card? Oh, credit cards need to jump through more hoops to get a credit card than you do for a debit card. And I was like, oh my God, this is wild. Anyway, so booked this flight, $400 later, and then managed to get the car, goes upstairs to the car, guy reverses the car in, and it's the size of a small Skoda.
Nata said to me in the days leading up to that, Nata was like, I've got an SUV and that, and obviously if you've been to the States, and it's a Chevy, right, and if you've been to the States, obviously bear in mind, we had literally just came from Chicago, right, and the SUV Chevys earlier, I was like, oh my God, this is Toys R Us to me. This is the place I need to be. Like the trucks and everything were just like trucks on steroids. I was like, this is insane, man. And I was like pure buzzing about this motor. Next minute he pulls up and what I can only describe is like the in-betweeners car. Like, fucking hell. I was like, right, we're going to like the smallest vehicle on the road.
And I just didn't want to then go back downstairs
No.
like, see after everything you've done for us, can you upgrade the car?
Going to get us a bigger car. But then we had a pure fight for like 20 minutes trying to fit in all luggage.
Turning suitcases.
Harper's ankles were up to her head because the amount of bags we had and that. So that was absolutely carnage.
We got it. And I remember sitting down on the bench beside you before the guy eventually said like, oh, we'll make it work. And I said to you, what would we do if we were on Race Across the World with 3 kids? Yeah. And I was like, what would we do? We'd get a Greyhound bus, we'd have to change. I was like, we've not paid for the hotel that we were on our way to yet. So we technically could cancel it and change to a different hotel, or we could go straight to Niagara. Thank fuck we didn't do that. But I was like, what would we do? Like, we'd literally just be on a bus for a day for 24 hours with the kids, just trying to get to Toronto as quick as possible. And then we could have knuckled down there. And I think that's the thing, is that And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, like because we do, and I know this sounds mad, but because we do eat well, we look after ourselves and we exercise, and I do think it prepares me more, not you, to deal with those circumstances a little bit better, like mindset wise, because I was just like, we have got internet, we've got money. I was like, there must be a way. There must be a way. And that's all I could think. There must be a way for us to do this. And it might not be the trip that we'd planned. And I even thought to try and go and hire a motorhome. They probably want a credit card as well. But I was like, what can we do right now to make this happen so that we can get somewhere with the kids, and then at least we know, right, okay, we'll knuckle down here and we'll make a plan. And that's fine. Thank God it all played out exactly how we planned it. But I mean, we hit some bumps and we still managed to communicate through it. Probably had a few under the breath towards each other, but we managed to get through it. And also like the experiences that we had then after that, like 2 days or the 3 days down at the lakes in Canada, beautiful, needed it, couple of days.
And it was nice to be like kind of shot out of the hustle before then going back.
I mean, it was a wee bit like that for the greater good.
Hot fuzz.
Place.
Yeah.
It was a wee bit like that, but I mean, it was quiet and that's all you could ask for.
Probably
So we had that, and then we went on to Niagara Falls, and it was amazing. We've ticked off a wonder of the world. I mean, with the kids, they absolutely loved it.
Yeah, the boat trip especially was just absolutely amazing on the falls. Like that was something that I'll never forget. Like it was so harsh. Like, I was expecting to get soaked, but fuck me, man, I was soaked.
It was
and
mental.
I'm trying to film it as the wind's going on, and I'm like, fuck him like that. Trying to hold Molly as well because she's shaking herself, and I was like, this is what it was like, man.
What have you done to us?
It was wild, but it was honestly, it was amazing. And then the falls obviously are something else. Like when you want to see them, and then even seeing them at night and stuff like that, and the lit up and the fireworks, etc. But the falls was brilliant. But if you're ever going to go and see Niagara Falls, do not stay in the actual falls.
Drive in a tour bus, stay for the day, and then drive back out as quick as you can.
Drive in an armoured vehicle.
That is not good.
The best way I described it, I've described it to somebody yesterday, Cameron from yesterday. He says, what was it like? And I was like, Gotham. And I was like, no. Gotham's probably actually quite a safe place. The best way I described it was Home Alone 2 when he goes to Central Park at night.
At night.
And it's all the mad. Aye. Like,
Literally, we had someone like that.
It was like, they were laughing like hyenas.
Every time we got to a crossing.
5 people had 3 teeth between them. Like,
Give me that a teeth today.
they were swapping.
Every time we got to a crossing and you had to push the button, it was almost like mum and dad describe driving through South Africa sometimes. Sometimes, doesn't matter if it's red light, you fucking move, you just go. And that's how I felt. See if we didn't have the lanes, we had to stop at every light.
It was wild.
It was horrible, I've never felt so unsafe, so uncomfortable in my whole life, and I'll never, ever, ever do that ever again. And the look on the waitress's face when we said to her, we walked up that hill at 11 o'clock at night on our own with the 3 kids, she was like that. Oh my,
She actually said, she was like,
alive.
Yeah, I'd probably get a bus. So if you're ever going to go, I would highly advise it because it is something special. Like seeing the falls and that is like truly amazing, and it is a bucket list thing. But I mean, it is a different experience seeing the people there. It's like a fucking David Attenborough documentary. Like,
To just we'll learn that as we travel. As we try different things, but yeah, that's the full debrief.
Yeah.
And it was only 10 days.
With a lot to fit in 10 days. Especially the speed bumps that we hit along the road.
But we do.
And it was also nice as well, like there was so many people on my stories getting a good fucking laugh at it.
Oh, I know. I've heard a lot of people were like, we're
entertain people.
excited to see what was next.
I'm glad we went up
The lampoons.
Hi, Jenna described her holiday as the National Lampoons going holiday. And I was like, you know what, that's spot on, man.
I know, that was good. But end of season 1 for Coffee with the Cassells. Nice way to end it.
Yep.
And then next season, we've got big things going on at the gym.
Yeah, hopefully.
hopefully, season 2, episode 1 will have some new news to drop. So tune in. It's going to be another wild ride. It's not going to be any flights anymore because we're not going to have any dough.
We've got no money. If anybody's looking for an old athlete, 33 years old with 3 kids and a lot of baggage, that wants to sponsor me for any Hyrox races, then that'd be great. If not, my Hyrox career's over after this news launches because we got no dough. So, but it's exciting. There's big things coming.
There's big plans, and we can't wait to
hopefully reveal it.
See it all come to life.
As long as we get approval from the powers that be. So,
woo! Let's go.
Over. Yep. So we'll wrap that there. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and keep your eyes peeled for the next episodes coming up. And if you have been listening to this point, thank you. It's been fucking carnage, but there's going to be more carnage coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carnage, but fun. And also, next season, we will also be sharing our client stories through the But Did You Die series, mini-series. So tune in for that. We'll get some clients in and hear their stories and get some chat with them. So yeah, tune in for season 2, and thanks so much for being here for season 1. And I can't wait to take you on the journey even more. Lots to come.